It's the morning after election night.
Congratulations to Governor DeSantis on his re-election.
With governor and Senate settled, places in Congress up for vote.
It's clear that we are going to take the House back.
With a big effect on the balance of power. And Florida bracing for a big storm.
This incoming storm is a direct threat to both property and life.
We'll have the latest on Nicole. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Samantha Gutierrez.
And I'm Julian Davis. Today's Wednesday, November 9th, 2022.
Live from the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
A red wave in Florida, and it begins at the top with Republican incumbent Governor Ron DeSantis winning by 20 points over Democratic challenger Charlie Crist. It continues with the race for Marco Rubio's U.S. Senate seat.
Rubio hangs on to the seat by a comfortable margin, 58-42 over the Democratic U.S. Congresswoman Val Demings. Here's the latest on both races.
Thanks to the overwhelming support of the people of Florida, we not only won election, we have rewritten the political map.
The governor defended his spot, receiving 59.5% of the votes against his opponent, Charlie Crist.
Congratulations to Governor DeSantis on his re-election. That's okay.
This election night has also been lucky for a different incumbent, this one celebrating in Miami. Here at the Hilton Miami Airport Blue Lagoon Ballroom, hundreds of people gathered to watch the U.S. Senate's eventful race.
The most important thing is we're not just going to elect Republican senators, we're going to elect new people with fire in the belly who know why they're running to save America.
The outcome of this race strengthens the right's hold over Florida, turning this one swing state safe for Republicans.
Now all the Sunshine State's attention turns to the 2024 election, with the potential South Florida candidates being Donald Trump and Governor Ron DeSantis.
In Florida's most closely watched congressional race, Republican Maria Elvira Salazar was trying to hang on to the House seat she flipped red 2 years ago. Salazar hung on and beat Democratic State Senator Annette Taddeo by 57% to 43%. She gets to keep her seat. The network's Lauren Wirtz has more from both of last night's watch parties.
The race for Florida's 27th district has drawn a lot of attention for a congressional seat in South Florida.
Voters returned U.S. Rep. Maria Elvira Salazar to office for a second term, representing Florida's 27th congressional district, handing her an overwhelming victory over State Senate Annette Taddeo.
I refuse to give up. This was one battle. This wasn't a war.
District 27 is known as the most Hispanic district, covering parts of Miami, Miami Beach, Palmetto Bay, Pinecrest, and Kendall.
This election proves what Ronald Reagan famously said: the Latinos are Republicans, they just don't know it. Until tonight.
One of Salazar's campaigners explains what so many people like her support Salazar.
I support her because she's a great leader. She works for us. She's planning to reduce taxes.
A lot of people I talked to at the polls said that they wanted to preserve America the way it's always been, and I think that's the main reason she won.
On the other hand, former Democratic Representative Donna Shalala blames Taddeo's loss on the lack of turnout from Democrats.
We needed to turn out Democrats and independents, and we weren't able to do that, and so the Republicans will hold the district for 2 years. But only 2 years. We're going to come back swinging.
In Little Havana for South Florida Media Network, I'm Lauren Wirtz.
A closely watched Miami-Dade commissioner race between two Haitian Americans. Marlene Bastien won against two-term North Miami Mayor Philippe Bien-Aimé to succeed the longtime Miami-Dade Commissioner Jean Monestein. Marlene is known for her decades of community service and government advocacy. District 2's new commissioner, Bastien, had 59% of the voter cast compared to the 41% for Bien-Aimé.
Funding for Miami-Dade schools was approved in yesterday's election. Meanwhile, in Broward County, Alan Zeman leads a school board race as his opponent, Donna Korn, is struggling to maintain her seat in the school board. Korn was one of the 4 removed by Governor Ron DeSantis. Prior to that, she had served 3 terms on the board and tried appealing to voters to let her come back. However, it's projected that Zeman will take her seat.
We also have results this morning in a tight Senate race in Pennsylvania that was national interest. The one going blue, Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman defeated Sergeant and former talk show host Mehmet Oz. Pennsylvania voters going for a Fetterman 50 to 48. He is now that state's senator-elect.
Another big national race was too close to call at the end of the night. Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock is tied 49-49 with Republican challenger and former NFL running back Herschel Walker. Those votes are still being counted, but if neither gets to 50%, it will trigger a runoff election on December 6th. Reporter Nicole Castaneda from our DC Bureau has more this morning on the fight to determine the balance of power.
Polls are beginning to close right now in different states, and the nation's capital is pretty calm while we wait for the results of which party will gain congressional control for the next 2 years. The battle for control of Congress is coming down to just a handful of critical races. Democrats have had enough victories across the country to lower the red wave Republicans were pursuing. However, several races still too close to call. Both parties are now keeping their hopes up of winning narrow majorities in both chambers. A key win for Democrats.
We held the line. I never expected that we were going to turn these red counties blue, but we did what we needed to do, and we had that conversation across every one of those counties. And tonight, that's why I'll be the next U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania.
As Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman defeated Trump-endorsed Dr. Mehmet Oz to flip the formerly Republican-held Senate seat, giving Democrats a much-needed opportunity to maintain control of upper chamber. This being the most expensive race in the country, and a race so tight was one where all eyes were put on. The GOP also fell short in Senate races in New Hampshire and Colorado, but taking key victories in Florida, North Carolina, and Ohio, where Republican J.D. Vance defeated Democratic Senate candidate Tim Ryan.
I will never forget where I came from, and I will never forget the great people of Ohio. Thank you for this honor to serve you. I'll fight for you every day.
With victories in Florida, Republican Congresswoman Maria Salazar, Marco Rubio as Republican Senator, and Ron DeSantis as Republican Governor, this is the party that now holds power in this state. Control of House, too, remains uncertain. Republicans who expected to benefit from high inflation and historical trends have not seen all of their anticipated victories materialize. Tight races in Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, and Georgia could take days, if not weeks, to be decided, leaving the balance of power in Washington up in the air. From Washington, D.C., reporting for the South Florida Media Network, Nicole Castaneda.
This morning, Florida residents braced themselves yet again as a tropical storm Nicole continues to gain strength. Palm Beach and Volusia counties have issued a mandatory evacuation today. It is likely that the tropical storm Nicole will make landfall tonight as a Category 1 hurricane. This comes just 6 weeks after Hurricane Ian tore through the state.
We've lived in this house and in this neighborhood for 30 years, and we've been through quite a few hurricanes here. We've never seen anything like what Ian did.
Hurricane Nicole is expected to hit the Melbourne area tonight.
An election watch party at FIU in D.C.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
Like that the trend is that we are coming together to watch, our political landscape evolve, shift, and change.
FIU in D.C. was the place to be in the nation's capital to watch election results come in. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So, yeah, I know. That's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm going to get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
If you love me enough to tolerate my perfect little pets and all their glorious dander, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere, and just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Watch Party, an election night gathering at FIU in D.C. Our D.C. Bureau reporters needed to make room last night,
as the network's Lydia Delgado was there.
The stakes of this year's midterm election were higher than ever as analysts focused on key races that would determine the balance of power in Congress and how ballot measures turned out. After casting their ballots yesterday, several voters headed to election watch parties to await results.
I like that the trend is that we are coming together to watch, our political landscape evolve, shift, and change. And so I think my hope is that this is getting more popular because people are being more communicative around this crucial and hallowed aspect of our democracy.
Panelists spoke on the importance of participating in the democratic process beyond visiting the polls.
People are learning that they have to get more involved in the political process and with civic engagement. So now it's not just about making sure you go vote and are you turning your ballot. Now it's about seeing and watching it as things progress. What are the key issues and the trends that come out of what voters wanted to see?
Inflation is one of the most pressing issues for Florida voters. Both Republican Governor Ron DeSantis and Senator Marco Rubio, who has spoken out on the matter, won re-election.
I think in Miami-Dade is looking to see whether people are single issue voters. Is it just about inflation? Is it just about immigration? Or are they thinking more from a local standpoint or a federal overall standpoint of the issues that are important to federal politics? So right now, it is inflation, it is the economy.
Some races are so close that it may take several days to be finalized. I'm Lydia Delgado in Washington, D.C. for the South Florida Media Network.
One lucky person in California won not only the only winning ticket in the whole country, but also the biggest winning jackpot in history. The anonymous winner still has yet to claim their $2 billion. They have until the end of the year to collect their winnings. And they weren't the only ones who won big. The owner of the shop where the ticket was bought gets $1 million just because that's where the winning ticket was sold.
That is all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Julian Davis.
I'm Samantha Gutierrez. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.